Hi, this is my first check-in video for my CEP 810 Networked Learning project. So for this project, I am working on learning how to do brush lettering. Brush lettering is kind of a more modern form of calligraphy, so just a different way to write. So my learning goal for this project is to learn how to use brush lettering to write words. So with that, I need to get comfortable using the tools that are required for brush lettering, get comfortable with the strokes, then move on to learning how to do letters, and then the final part will be putting it all together to write words. The first thing I had to do so far was kind of figure out what materials I would need. I knew that, or from the research that I've done so far, you can't just use regular paper and markers. So for paper, I had to get a specific style of paper, just because of regular copy paper does not keep the markers that I'll end up using in good shape. So they will end up fraying and they won't last very long, and the work just won't look good on the paper. Materials wise, there are specific pens to use. You can get away with using Crayola markers a bit, just as you're getting used to it. But what I found is these Tombow markers, so the one that I have here, are really kind of the best to use for major projects, obviously starting with pencil and being able to erase is big, but those Tombow markers are really made for it because they have different ends on them, these dual brush, which you see in the picture, which allow to do different strokes and different styles and techniques with it. So some of these are just also different markers that are good for the lettering, just kind of depending on what you want to do and what style you're going with, you can kind of choose what to do. So those are the materials that I have gotten for this project. Resources wise, I have found, just going through different resources online, which is what this project is based off of, YouTube has definitely been my best bet. I've been through help forums and finding different blogs, but what I've found to be the best resource is videos, because for most of them you can follow along as they do it, but also just seeing the person or seeing their hands doing the brush lettering and seeing them talk through it has definitely been a big help. So this is the video that I found that I just did a practice with. What I found is that what I liked about this video is specifically that she goes slow enough that you can follow along with it. So I was able to go through and do all of the strokes and practice everything as she did it. Obviously a couple of times I had to pause just to check over my work and stuff, but having that access was really big for me. So this is what I created based off of her video. So you start just with the top is the downstroked, which is obviously thicker. The upstroke is thinner, and all letters are based off of these strokes. And then she had me practice with doing the downstroke going into an upstroke, and then here the upstroke going into a downstroke, which between those two I found doing the upstroke into a downstroke the easier to do, the easier to catch on to. I've also found that I do a lot better with the downstroke. The upstroke, I don't know if my hands are just still getting used to it, but I'm still a little shaky, and as you can see, my lines aren't as straight with those. Then we moved on to letters or strokes for letters that don't come off of these lines, which would be your C's and O's. So those are ones that I definitely need to practice a bit more, because they have, you go from one stroke to another back to that first stroke. So this one, you start with the upstroke, go into a downstroke, and then go back into an upstroke, which is kind of difficult to do. So definitely, as you can see, something that I need more practice with. At the end, she had me put everything together into writing the words "thank you." Still a bit shaky. There's obviously still things I would go back through, but what I'm realizing is, especially as I look at this picture, could definitely improve on writing a bit straighter, so I definitely need to use a ruler moving forward as I start to use more, try to put words together or letters together into words. So now that I've spent some time practicing just with the basic strokes, I'm going to move on with actually practicing letters and then hopefully start getting on to writing words. What I've liked so far is, from what I've seen from videos, is there's a lot of creativity, so you don't have to do letters, write your letters the way that everyone else does. You kind of, as you go through this, you create your own style, which is something that I like using these strokes. So that is my check-in so far for this project, and I will be back again to go through more of what I've learned so far. Thanks.